Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Email Einstein, where today there are three of us, three Flowium people on the call. And today with us, we have obviously Andrei, because he's always hanging here. Hi, Andrei.
Hey.
But also we have our very special guest who you know from the previous seasons, Bobi Nikolovski.
Hello,
and he's going to try to help us to make sense of all of the Klaviyo pricing updates, to answer the questions like how can you adjust your email strategy to like maintain profitability, or like what does it mean to your business bottom line, or how can you maximize Klaviyo value to make sense of this like higher cost, and like is it worth it at all? So Bobi, we're super happy to have you here because we do have a ton of questions. How's it going?
I'm happy to be here, and hopefully that I will achieve the goal of clearing these things out and not confusing everyone even more.
So there was so much fuss on LinkedIn. I'm off all social media platforms except LinkedIn, but every other post that I saw, like, oh, Klaviyo increasing prices, and there was such a scarcity, and I thought it's like end of the world. But when I learned a little bit more about that, it was not as bad as they portrayed.
See, that's why I'm on Instagram and not LinkedIn, Andrei. There are just like puppy videos and like recipes. So yeah.
Did you say puppy talking about Klaviyo price increases? Barking?
Yeah. Yes, pretty much. No, it's not how it works with Instagram. But Bobi, let's go back to the very basics. Like, what are the key changes, like effective February 18th? Like a lot of accounts have been like upgraded already. And what do these prices or price changes mean to Klaviyo users?
So the main change, the main difference from what was before, and by the way, this was not changed for everyone. If you remember last year in April, there was a change where every new account that is created in Klaviyo, the price of the account will depend on the number of how many active profiles you have. In the past, it was depending on how many emails you're sending, how per campaign, or how many total emails you're sending per billing cycle. So you could have had 100,000 subscribers, but still you could have paid for an account only on 50,000 subscribers. But with the last year change in April, all the new accounts created after April were supposed to pay for the how many profiles they have, actually active profiles. But the old accounts, everyone that was created before April last year, still stayed on the old plan. The change now that happened in this February is for those old accounts now applying the new rules that was already live for everyone else from last year April. So now the difference is you can't pay for a lower account if you have higher number of active subscribers. So if you had 100,000 subscribers, you were paying for 50,000 only. Now, by default, your plan would go to 100,000. So you would either need to clean some of those people to decrease the amount of people that you have and you're paying for, or you'll have to pay more, of course.
So basically, to clarify, Bobi, right now, no matter how many people you're sending to on your list, you're actually paying for the number of active subscribers. Is that correct?
Yes. And I mean, you can't send to more. Like, active subscribers are all the people that you can send emails to. So you can send to all of them, but that's not always good for deliverability. But yeah, in the past, you could have sent only to part of the list and pay less. But again, now that doesn't matter. You can still be sending to smaller group of people, but you need to pay for how many active profiles you have.
I even remember I used to have a video on YouTube many years ago. Actually, you know what? Our birthday is approaching, and actually this podcast will be probably released in the week of our birthday, 8th birthday for Flowium. Like, it would be on March 27th. But anyway, one of the first video I recorded on YouTube was how to save on Klaviyo. And Klaviyo then, when we start partner up with them, they nicely asked me to remove that video because I was teaching people how to play the system, because I found I realized this loophole. Even if you have, let's do some extreme, you have 1 million subscribers, active profiles. You can pay theoretically $20 as a lower plan, and send it to 1,000 or 2,000 people. Like, you just need to segment your list into smaller chunks, and you would be able to do that. And now you have 1 million list, but you're paying only $20. And it was a loophole for a very long time until last year. And this is the big change right now.
This is the big change. So I guess a lot of
Hopefully they
things.
don't ask for the podcast to be removed now.
No, but we are not telling any loopholes. We're just explaining people the price change. And my goal actually with this podcast as well, to understand what people can and should do to clean up their list, not to reduce the cost. I mean, it will reduce your Klaviyo cost, but to clean up your list, to improve your deliverability, because this is what we were preaching here on our podcast, on our YouTube, also on blog posts. Like, you must clean up your list, and we telling sometimes to our clients, but people don't listen. But now they will, because they have to pay more.
So Bobi, what do accounts that have like a huge list but only engage with part of it, what do they need to do now? Like, there are tons of accounts, like Andrei said, people who are like been sitting on the list for like years, and maybe they like message them once or twice a year. How do you approach this kind of situations?
Well, again, we may go now into the finding the workarounds and like something for people to benefit from this change, but the answer is depends. Like, you may have had like 1 million subscribers, but you're only sending it to 100,000. So what depends is, were you paying before for all 1 million subscribers, or were you paying just for the 100,000? Because the other thing that is important with this change that recently happened is the cap of 25% increase. So let's say you had 1 million subscribers, you were just sending it to 100,000 and you were just paying for the 100,000. The rest were just being there, but you were not paying for them. With the increase now in Klaviyo, with cap of 25%, it doesn't matter that you increasing the number of people you're sending. The account is growing 10x in how much you can send with the million people. Like, the price will only rise maximum for all accounts just 25%. So let's say now you are having a Klaviyo plan that is for 1 million subscribers, but you got it so cheap because your increase was, instead of, let's say you were paying $1,000, now instead of paying 10,000, you're just paying $1,250 because there is cap on 25%. So if this happened, I would say you should clean the account, but not decrease the account, because you are getting much higher Klaviyo account for much cheaper price. But for a person who was already paying full, this actually didn't change anything, but still the advice would be to clean the account so they can pay lower. Because there were people before who, even though they were not sending to everyone, they were still paying for all the subscribers for some reason.
Right.
Because they didn't watch previous Andrei's video, I guess.
Did they say what is the plan next? Like, do they plan to increase by another 25% in the next few years, or another 50%? The answer was, the price that you get now with this change is what, like, for that specific discount that we are discussing. So if you got the discount of 25%, if you are not changing the plan and numbers there, like, that is the decision now is like that's ongoing forever. It may be a change, but for right now, that price, that discount is staying. Okay, but question. If they want to change the plan, let's say, to the next year, or lower or up, does it mean it will reduce, wipe out this 25%?
No. So how they answer this is, if you had a plan, let's say what we were discussing before now, from 1,000 to 10,000, you got it for $1,250. So let's say the next plan for 10,000, the next plan is 11,000. So it's $1,000 addition. So it would be added $1 addition to the plan that you're having now. So next time, if you increase the plan, you will be paying $2,250. So it would be like every next increase would be like you are not having a discount, but the discount would stay. You will not be paying 11,000. You will be paying 2,000. Just to the previous price, they will add what the next price is.
So if I understood correctly, you will pay the original price, 1,000, plus 25% increase, which is $250, plus delta between the new pricing. Okay, it makes sense.
It's basically the discount is staying. How the only way you can lose the discount is if you downgrade the account, and if you get to a plan where the plan is less than 25% decrease. So let's say now we decrease the plan from $1,250 to $1,100 some plan. Now you're not getting discount because you're lower than 25%. So only people who increased over 25% got the cap. So it's not a discount, it's a cap actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And since you started talking about this auto upgrade and downgrades, can you explain how it's going to work? Because in the past, we used to do it all manually based on the cadence of emails and based on how many people we're sending to. How it's going to work now?
Yeah, so there are two new options, but auto upgrade is not new option. Auto upgrade was always available. Yes. So if you are sending to more people, Klaviyo is automatically upgrading your account. The two new features are auto downgrade, and I forgot what was the other one, but I forgot the name of the other one, but it was effective in a way of you can set it. So if next month you're planning to send to more people, you can send to more people, and by default, at the end of the month, it will go to your current plan. So it will not increase your plan because you're sending more now. It will just increase it for that 1 month. And auto downgrade, I think it's pretty self-explanatory in the name. If you are on a plan on 1,000 subscribers, and let's say you suppress or people unsubscribe, and now you have 800 subscribers, and you are qualified to get a lower plan, by default, if you have this option checked, Klaviyo will sign you for the lower plan for the next month.
This is nice. It's like both ends, but this is nice feature I didn't see in any software that they do auto downgrade.
Yeah, we always had to do it manually, and it was a lot of labor involved, to calculate where do you want to go and what level. It was a lot of back and forth with the client, so that's nice.
I assume they were also concerned about how people will react to the price change, so they tried to come up with something that would count even out. Okay, we are increasing the price, but we are giving you this feature in return.
Listen, the price change was not self-explanatory. We were already talking about 10-15 minutes about this. So we're recording an entire episode, so it's not clear to people.
No, for me it was clear, but I get that that's not the reality because I was on different calls with Klaviyo people, so I asked a lot of
questions. You're Klaviyo champion. You're totally on different level, so we cannot compare with you. It was a compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to take compliments. He's from Eastern Europe, so that's a factory settings for him.
Negative feedback. Usually.
Yes, only negative feedback. So, Bobi, going back to how this new pricing increase will change our strategies in Klaviyo. So should brands change their, say, email sending frequencies or based on this new structure, or should they be more aggressive with list cleaning or business as usual?
They can do all of that, but the main thing is they should have been doing that already. Because you should be cleaning your list. You should not be having a lot of unengaged people in the account. Why should they be there? You should try to re-engage people. If people are not engaging, suppress them. Make sure that in the accounts are only people who want to receive your emails. When it comes to more or less sends, again, this depends what more sends mean for people. Because still Klaviyo is saying that you need to pay minimum for the number of people, but still Klaviyo is putting limit on how much emails you can send per billing cycle. So if you have 100,000 subscribers, you need to pay for a minimum 100,000 subscribers. But let's say you're sending to all of them and you're sending 15 emails. Now you're sending 1.5 million emails per month, but for 100,000 subscriber plan, the limit is 1 million emails. So if you're going over the plan, of course, you will still have to pay higher plan. You don't have those subscribers, but because you're sending more often, you will have to pay more. We have some clients who send more emails like that, which is totally valuable strategy. I can't say that is bad because like they want to interact more with their subscribers. But changing the strategy, I would not say that something drastically need to change, except now they need to be more careful and to pay more attention to cleaning their lists.
Does it affect somehow SMS profiles?
No, because SMS profiles were never, it was never in the past and it's not now. They don't depend on how many SMS subscribers you have, because SMS subscriber are counted in the active profiles and you're paying already in emails for active profiles. In SMS, we are paying for credits.
But if somebody sign up, let's say some brand have a pop-up form or whatever, the sign-up form specifically for SMS, not email, and the profile is created but without email.
It's still an active profile in Klaviyo.
Okay, so even if they don't have email, it's active profiles, they have to pay for that
Yes.
profile. Okay, makes sense.
And for SMS anyway, we are paying for number of credits, and then if you go over the limit, you can have the same thing where you can auto-upgrade, auto-downgrade, I think. No, I don't think there is auto-downgrade for SMS, but there is auto-upgrade, I think, where you can send to different number of people every month.
So basically what you're saying that like this new Klaviyo pricing change is still not solely based on the number of active profiles, but it's still like combination of like active profiles and the number of emails you actually send per month,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Like those are the three main things. So how many, like it was three things, but now it's two, because like you can send more to more people than how many active profiles you have. And that was important in the past, because in the past, you, as I said, you could have had million subscribers, but you were just sending to 100,000. So that was the limit. But now, like you can't have more, you can send more emails than the number of active subscribers. So those are equaled out. The number of people that you can send is equal with the number of active profiles. And the other important thing that Klaviyo is tracking is how many emails per month or per billing cycle you're sending. And the limit is always 10x of the number of profiles. So if you're paying for 100,000, limit is 1 million. If you're paying for 1 million, the limit is 10 million. It's always 10x of the number of profiles you're paying.
And that includes like flows and campaigns, right? Or
all emails.
All emails that you're sending. Okay. Yes. Interesting. So for those people who are just like starting getting into like list cleaning and all of this, like a proper health maintenance, what sort of like reports, metrics, what sort of like numbers they should look at to check or like to monitor the health of their account and to manage the cost properly?
Well, I think you can also give great examples here, because this depends on the brands. Like for some brand, I would say the most important thing here is how many engaged and how many unengaged profiles you have. And the ones that are unengaged, have you tried to engage them recently? And then this depends. Why I say this depends on brands, because some brands you can engage with them every month. But there are some brands that literally you don't need to engage every month. So for some brands, this may be a quarter, this may be a year or a season. Like depending from what people are selling, there is different time frame of the engagement of the people that they are subscribers. So I would say each brand should figure out what the engagement time is for them. Have a segment in Klaviyo that is, okay, we have million subscribers. How many of them are, let's say, for us, we use standard as 90 days, but we vary it based on a client-to-client base. But let's say, if you say it as example, who are the 90 days engaged and who is everyone else? From everyone else, did we send recently to these people? Should we keep them in our account, or should we try to re-engage them, or maybe just suppress them? That is what I would say about, like, I guess the numbers of the engaged and unengaged people is what matters when it comes to this, related to the price and number of profiles.
Can we talk a little bit more about how to clean up the list, and maybe let's do it like step by step? Like we can start with sunset flow or something else, but let's kind of give people who are listening to us some advices what they can do, some actionable things.
Want to discover how much money your email marketing can actually bring you? If that's the case, let our team of email marketing experts show you how. With our free email marketing audit, we'll conduct a comprehensive analysis of your email marketing efforts, provide you with an action plan, and show you how to effectively segment and convert your audience. Simply go to flowium.com/audit and book your audit today.
Yeah, of course. Like our basic strategy for suppression is we have two main segments that we are suppressing monthly. The first one is bounced emails, people who bounce several times in a row and who are not opening the emails. Obviously,
soft
soft
bounces.
bounces, because hard bounces, Klaviyo unsubscribes them by default. People who themselves click on unsubscribe, they're unsubscribed by default, and people who click on spam, they're unsubscribed by default. But what we are doing as users of the platform in Klaviyo specifically, or any other platform,
experts,
as experts, we have two segments. Like one segment is people who are soft bouncing several times in a row and not opening the email, so they're unengaged and they're decreasing the deliverability because they're bouncing. So we are suppressing those people. And also we have a sunset segment that we are calling it cold subscriber segment that we are suppressing. And we have a segment of people who didn't engage with any of our emails in the last 90 days. When they don't engage in 90 days, they get into the segment. After this, they go into the flow that is sunset flow. We give them like last 3 emails, like last chance for them to engage, because it's never a good idea to suppress someone without giving them a few more chances to engage with your brand. So we put them through the sunset flow. If they still don't engage, so they were unengaged for 90 days, they get 3 emails in another week or 10 days. So now it's 100 days. We are sure they received at least 3 emails in the last 10 days and they still don't engage. Those are the people that we suppress. Also, I would say, who should you suppress? Is if you notice some spam emails, like spam traps and those kind of people, you can separate them in the account. It may be a different domain or something specific that is pointing out that these people are not actually active subscribers. You can suppress those. I would even say have a segment for Amazon, TikTok, eBay subscribers, because you can't send emails to those. So those are always good good idea to suppress them as often as possible. And it may be different brand type segments that each brand may have different problems with different domains that may be good to suppress, but that depends on the brand.
Yeah, I love all those recommendation. Thank you, Bobi. Also, we have that list, checklist that we are setting up, how we're setting out all those segments on our website. If you go to flowium.com/checklist, you will be able to download that checklist that Bobi created with our team for you to use. And also we released recently Klaviyo Mastery 3.0, where I go in details how to create those lists and how to suppress them. Also, I just want to add a few things about bounce. I know that we also added one more thing to our bounce segment. If it's bounced in the last 7 days, something, like when people are on vacation, can you talk about a little bit more about that? What was the criteria?
Yeah. So it was not mainly for vacation. This was mainly for recently not Klaviyo, but all emailing platforms had problems with different inbox providers. Sometimes it may be Yahoo, sometimes maybe Apple. So something happens and they block the emails from that ESP, and then a lot of emails bounce, and then you send the next email, and then a lot of emails bounce, and then your deliverability is hurt. So what we are trying to do is, we are not suppressing though, just to be clear, we are not suppressing these people. We are just excluding them from our campaigns when we are sending. So we have a segment that we made standard. It can be depending on how big of a problem it is for account. So if you have huge bounce rates for campaigns, 5%, 10%, that's really big, do a bigger segment, bounced in the last 30 days. So everyone that bounced in the last 30 days, exclude them from the campaigns. If it is a smaller problem, like you see here and there, people are bouncing, and it is above the average of what is the benchmark for the account, but not too bad, like 5 or 10%. We are having a smaller segment saying like people that bounced in the last 7 days, let's try not to send them. They will be skipped from this campaign. After 7 days, they will receive the next one. So it's not like we are skipping them something too much. We are skipping 30 days if the account has like problems for several weeks or something like that with big bouncing numbers.
Okay.
Cool.
And also for Sunset Flow, just want to let you know, all of you, that we have on our website, if you type in Google Sunset Flow Flowium, we have a tutorial step-by-step how to build it in your Klaviyo account and how to set it up, how we do it for our clients.
Right. Yeah, we just had a conversation with Bobi on like how can we improve this sunset and how it doesn't necessarily make sense always to use a lot of resources on this flow. So sometimes a good all plain text email, because you know how we go above and beyond with all of the emails that we create. Honestly, I think some of our emails is like a piece of art, and we spend a lot of time on copy, on design. And for Sunset Flow, when your open rates are typically, Bobi, correct me if I'm wrong, like 10-ish%, right? For like a lot of accounts, 10 is like in a good account, but usually it's even lower. So these are the people who are like literally don't want to hear from you, or they like forgot about you or something. They don't bother opening your email. So why would you spend a lot of resources developing this beautiful email? So that's like the first reason why we kind of opted in for more like a plain text emails. But also plain text emails, they tend to have a better deliverability as far as I know. So that's like another reason why we kind of use them for this specific flow.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, the main, as we discussed before, we want to suppress people who don't open this email. So the main purpose of the Sunset Flow is we don't care if people buy from it. We just want to see people that open the email. So for us, it's important these emails, the last 3 emails before suppressing them, to go into their inbox and for them to open them. If they go to inbox and they still don't open, it's obvious that they don't want to hear from us, so we suppress them. But like more designed emails have to go through more filters in the inbox providers, and it's easier for them to go into promotions. They don't usually go to spam. Spam is like the worst case, but if account has good deliverability, it's not going to spam, but it can go to promotions, and those are harder for people to find and open. So if you send a text-based email, like there is only few filters that they need to go through, and there is higher chances of going in inbox and people interacting with them.
So honestly, in like this type of flows, the subject line is more important sometimes even than the content of the email. Because like our goal for these emails are to be opened. So like as long as the person opens this email, they are not going to be suppressed at the end of this flow, because they are become like engaged after that. So yeah, but we do have like a lot of resources about the Sunset Flow. We'll share them under this podcast so you can like learn more about them. Bobi, what's your take on like this third-party tools, like for example Orita, where they have this like different dynamic kind of like approach towards segmentation and dynamic approach towards not even suppression, but they like temporarily put people on quarantine and then like start messaging them again. Like what's your take?
I mean, I have both positive and negative opinions about it. The positive is definitely this is a lot of work to do manually. What Orita is doing is they're putting through algorithms or AI to evaluate which of the people have higher chances of purchasing from your website or who doesn't. And when they do that, they evaluate not just the active profiles, but also the profiles who are suppressed but manually suppressed. So there is this thing in Klaviyo where you can, as we were talking before, people can get suppressed through hard bounces, through unsubscribes, through reporting as spam, or you can suppress them. Like you as account owner or admin, you can suppress people manually. So those people that you manually suppress, you can also manually unsuppress. While the people who unsubscribe by default, you can't unsuppress them. Like they are staying suppressed no matter what, because you are not the one who suppressed them. They didn't want to be there. So Orita is also taking in consideration those people who are suppressed, but manually suppressed, and it's also evaluating if maybe based on their previous action, there is chance for these people to take action on the website. So they're unsuppressing them and sending them emails. And then from the people who are subscribed, they're evaluating if maybe some of those people in the next period may not be interested into your brand or buying anything. So they're suppressing those. So they're doing this with algorithms and AI. And that is the positive thing, that doing this manually would be a lot of work. Like you will need to track a lot of numbers, look at each account separately, which like for some brands, it's impossible because they have too many subscribers. So that is the positive. The negative, I think, in my opinion, is that maybe something changed, but they are looking into general numbers. They are not, they don't have specific algorithm or AI about your specific account. It is general based on people action. Maybe again, this changed recently.
But I'm curious, why is negative? Like, it's like humans are browsing website, not like animals. Like all humans are having similar behaviors theoretically.
That is true, and that is why it works in most cases. But we are working with so many different brands, and like probably from the three of us, Vera is most experienced in that recently. Each brand subscribers react differently. As we were saying before, some may buy every month, which if it is like a product that you need every month, but some you may buy once a year or once in 3 years. So not all brands are selling the same things. Not all subscribers are reacting the same things. There are different cultures, like there is like cultural brands and like those kind of things. And Orita is grouping them all together. And of course, we are all people, so we have similar actions. So that is why it works. It works really good, but it's not ideal.
Setting aside like B2C or like e-commerce business, like I am as a Flowium business owner, I wish we have something similar for B2B, because I wish if some people browsing our website or engaging with our emails and sending signal that they are kind of more interested, not even like buy our service, but they are kind of interested. I wish we have some automation to send them email, because right now there is a bunch of guessing we're doing. Like for B2B, for me personally, it would be extremely beneficial.
I think I might have a tool that is not like kinda Orita, but we're like experimenting with it for one of our clients. But maybe you're using something similar for Flowium already. It's like how we learned that a lot of businesses are going to like specific page of the website to learn about like specific package or specific product. So we basically don't necessarily have the information, but there are some ways to manually do that. But yeah, that would be awesome if we could like automate these processes for B2B as well. So yeah, Bobi, final like takeaways. We like if you would summarize everything. So just like quickly summarize what this new price change is and like what is the main thing the brands should start doing differently, just like super quickly.
Well, in general, I don't think first to say it's nothing negative, because like it would have been negative if full pricing was enforced on all accounts. But with a cap of 25%, like literally, this is more beneficial to everyone than negative in any way. So people didn't lose anything. Even if you're paying, you're paying a little bit more. But the accounts who have much more subscribers, they are paying much less than what they actually were supposed to pay. And for us as an agency, the good thing is we finally can explain the value of cleaning the list to people, because in the past we had clients who we couldn't convince to clean the list because we want to keep them. Like, you're still keeping them. If we manually suppress them, we can manually unsuppress them anytime. But yeah, about the strategies, again, everything I would say everything should stay the same, except people should be paying more attention to the cleaning strategy, list cleaning strategies, and re-engagement. Like re-engagement is something that everyone needs to do more to realize who are actually the people, like from the unengaged, the segment that we were discussing before, like the people from the unengaged, who should be put left in the account and who should be suppressed. You can do deletion, but I don't even want to talk about that because I never recommend it. Those are the two main things when it comes to the pricing change in Klaviyo. Now, because like, yeah, of course, if you have more profiles, you will pay more. So you should take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bobby. It was nice having
for
you.
your time and knowledge.
See you guys next month. And Bobby, we hope to have you again on the podcast sometime. We probably will, since you're like one of the top Klaviyo champions in the world. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, if you're watching this and you like what you see, please hit subscribe and hit the bell because it helps us grow our channel.